So, YouTube, today we are going over why Twitch is dying. And we may be moving over to YouTube full time. All right, yes. These are the videos. I'm going to take these segments and upload them to YouTube. So, say hi, YouTube, everybody. And let's see why Twitch is collapsing. It's been collapsing for quite some time, ever since COVID. But I have my own hypotheses. Is what it is. I feel like if you're starting streaming lately, I think the only move is to honestly go to YouTube. So,
which was the fourth largest source of internet traffic.
Let me make sure I start this over. All right, because I keep fucking it up.
In 2014, Twitch was the fourth largest source of internet traffic in the United States, behind Netflix, behind Google, behind Apple, but ahead of Facebook, ahead of Hulu, and ahead of Amazon itself.
I did not know that it was ahead of Facebook. That is pretty nuts to me. Brother, I thought I heard this is why YouTube is flaccid. You said collapsing, my bad. Hey. YouTube, oh, okay, yeah. Nah, YouTube is never flaccid. YouTube is the fucking GOAT. That's why you the GOAT, bro. Twitch is definitely flaccid and collapsing. But I didn't know that I had more. I need to be careful before I unplug this fucking mic. I did not know that Twitch had higher traffic than Facebook. I can see shit like it tied with Hulu. Hulu had, okay, well, hey, is what it is. We're all boomers here.
A decade later, that number is 18th, and the company that bought it for nearly $1 billion has started calling it something internally, a phrase that should terrify anyone who's ever built anything inside a corporation: a zombie brand. That's the
a zombie brand. Also, this is Front Page. This channel is Front Page. Front Page is Caleb Hammer. And you'll find out later with some of the ad sponsors. If you're not familiar with Caleb Hammer, absolutely fucking funny dude. He runs Financial Audit, and now he's doing more content like this as well. The dude likes to diversify what the hell he's doing. And man, this fucking guy knows how to hustle. Man, I respect the hustle game, man. He's got like 3 different channels. You like Financial Audit, the wife does not. My wife surprisingly likes it, but it's because it kind of calls out her bullshit, and it can be somebody else calling out her bullshit and not me. So she likes it for that. It's a third party calling out her bullshit. But yeah, this is the same dude. You liked it for the hot girl. Whatever. You like it because it makes you realize that fraps are kind of stupid. My bullshit also, brother. But yeah, this is run by Caleb Hammer. So this is his new channel. If you can tell, it's very low subscriber count, 21.7K views or 7K subs, which is crazy. But yeah, diversifying a portfolio. All right, we're going to keep going with the video. Why is Twitch collapsing? Why is it flaccid now?
Actual term Amazon employees use, a zombie brand, something that's technically still alive, still running, still burning cash, but for all practical purposes,
but it's a lost leader.
Parked next to the Goodreads and Mechanical Turk in the corporate graveyard of acquisitions that never lived up to the pitch deck. Here are the numbers, and they're brutal. Average viewers on Twitch down 21% from the peak. Revenue down over $2 billion to an estimated $1.8 billion and falling. Workforce cut in half.
That's pretty good. Well, I mean, the workforce being cut in half is probably also because of partly due to AI. However, we all kind of, the peak itself would have been COVID for sure. Peak was absolutely COVID. And with how many streaming platforms are now in competition with Twitch, I don't think there's a shot in hell that they'll ever get those numbers again. You got Rumble and Kick and YouTube. And YouTube, especially having a better monetary incentive than any of those others. Yeah, it probably is not. Oh yeah, and TikTok. I forget about TikTok. As long as I can do a vertical stream, TikTok might be a way to go also. Dr. Disrespect is what killed streaming. That's my hot take. Is Dr. Disrespect basically, is he like the is he the Mr. Beast of the streaming world? Because everybody's saying that Mr. Beast killed YouTube because of his style of content.
1,000 employees laid off in just over a year. The CEO went on record and said, quote, "We aren't profitable at this point." That's 10 years. 10 years under Amazon, a company that made $68 billion in operating income last year. And Twitch still can't turn a profit. Meanwhile, YouTube Live now commands over 45% of all live streaming hours watched on the planet. A startup called Kick.
YouTube already took over. I didn't realize that. 45% is crazy. And they have I can guarantee they have a much bigger audience pool to pull from. And they're really good at pushing out your content to people that might watch it. They have like the tech there way over any of these other, even Kick or Rumble or whatever.
Backed by a
or
crypto
TikTok.
casino billionaire, grew 131% in a single year. And TikTok Live quietly passed Twitch to become the #2 live streaming platform in total hours.
Damn,
Twitch didn't just
getting
lose its
fucking
crown,
bodied.
it lost the plot. This is the story of how the platform that invented modern live streaming, the place that gave us Twitch Plays Pokemon, that launched thousands of careers, that turned playing video games into a billion-dollar industry, managed to drive away its creators, alienate its viewers, and burn through nearly $1 billion of Amazon's money with nothing to show for it. And it all starts with a webcam strapped to a baseball cap. On March 19th, 2007, a 23-year-old named Justin Kan strapped the camera to his head and started streaming his life to
Yeah, it was Justin.tv. And also, fun fact, the dude, I believe, I might be getting this wrong. I can't remember which one it was, but if I'm not wrong, I believe it was the guy that one of the producers that created Rick and Morty started out on Justin.tv as well. And that's how he ended up kind of getting the start in the production. And see, this is the only thing that Twitch sends your way now is just some mod bullshit or some fucking bot bullshit. That's the only thing that they send your way. So, like, why are you on Twitch as opposed to YouTube? Most of us are going to be on YouTube to watch YouTube videos. So we're going to be, we do not go on to Twitch other than to go right into our little boxes or whatever. Yeah. But anyhow, Justin.tv, that's extremely old. As saying 2007 is extremely old really makes me fucking want to vomit. That's really nice.
the internet. 24 hours a day, 7 days a week, no breaks. Khan and 3 other Yale students, Emmett Shear, Michael Seibel, and Kyle Vaught, had driven from New York City to San Francisco the previous October with 50,000.
It also used to be used for bootleg sports back in the sports event streams back in the day. I could say, yeah, there was that, and also it was just full on watching movies. That was another thing where people would just kind of rip movies and they would have watch parties. They still have watch parties, but they're more exclusive to like private Discord meetups, which seem to be like having your friends over. I mean, that makes sense. But yeah, there used to be stream events where they would just have watch parties, and it got extremely kind of toxic. And I'm surprised there wasn't a whole lot more like legal backlash that happened from that either.
$1,000 from Y Combinator, and had an idea they figured would probably fail within a year. They called it Justin.tv, and the live casting concept did fail. Nobody wanted to watch Justin Kan eating cereal at 2 in the morning. But the platform survived because it turned out people wanted to use it for something nobody expected: video games. Users were broadcasting their gameplay, and other people were watching.
That thing that my father used to stream NASCAR. That's funny, bro. I'm surprised he even knew what Twitch was.
Not just a few, thousands.
He was
then
big
tens
in
of
on it.
thousands.
He was in on the
The
tech.
chat was active. The chat was alive. The energy was real. Something was happening here that traditional media couldn't touch. By 2011, the gaming category was so massive that the team spun it off into its own category. They named it after the split-second reactions that defined competitive gaming: Twitch gameplay. Twitch.tv.
Apparently, StarCraft was a really big thing that kind of kicked off some Twitch viewership as well. StarCraft at all, of course, StarCraft 2, which is fucking weird. On something not Twitch. Oh, okay, my bad. That makes sense. But yeah, apparently StarCraft was one of the big things that really kind of pulled in some people on Twitch, which is crazy. StarCraft used to be one of my favorite games. Good morning, Roush. Welcome on in. You have a massive hog. Good morning.
launched on June 6th.
We're talking about why Twitch is dying and why I might be moving the live stream over to YouTube. We'll see. We're still figuring it out.
2011, with Emmett Shear as CEO. The growth was absurd. 3.2 million monthly users in 2011, 20 million by 2012, 45 million unique viewers by 2013. And by February 2024, Twitch was the 4th largest source of peak internet traffic in the United States, ahead of Facebook. Google.
I mean, yeah, those numbers are just legit because that's the only, that was the only platform that was even really offering it. So they had all the market share. They didn't have to split any of that with anybody. So basically, yeah, my ISP would probably handle it. It probably would. Actually, yeah, because the bit rates that they allow are a lot more effective for streaming than Twitch is. And you know what? They're probably going to go over that as well. But yeah, they had all the market share here. They didn't have to split it with anybody. So not only did they have market share, but because they were dominant within that market, they essentially could create a very fucking milquetoast product that's just average at best, and they would never be forced to create a better product. And because they're never forced to create a better product, other people are going to create a better product and eventually just fucking bury them. So I think that's another thing. It's like they were never ever put into an uncomfortable situation enough to where they had to change anything, and they became complacent within their company.
Saw what was happening and moved first. They reached a preliminary deal to buy Twitch for about $1 billion. But here's where the story gets interesting. Antitrust concerns killed that deal. Google already owned YouTube. Regulators would have looked very hard at one company owning both YouTube and the dominant gaming livestream platform. The two sides couldn't agree on a breakup fee if regulators blocked it. So the deal collapsed, and Amazon swooped in. On August 25th, 2014, Jeff Bezos announced the acquisition. $970 million, all cash.
That's fucking crazy. I mean, it is what it is. I mean, Bezos is playing fucking 3D chess out of mutilated babies at this point. I don't fucking know. That's semantics. That nobody believe me. Don't sue me, Jeff Bezos. I mean, you could probably bulldoze over my house and still pay the slap fines and just be good with it. All right, keep going.
In Amazon's 21-year history. The logic on paper? Twitch gave Amazon the world's largest community of online gamers, a platform for advertising, a vehicle for promoting Amazon's own game titles, and this part often gets overlooked, a fire hose of user data. Every Twitch user was a potential Amazon Prime customer. Every streamer was a potential product evangelist. And for a while, it looked like genius. In February 2014, something happened on Twitch that had never happened anywhere else on the internet. An anonymous Australian programmer set up a stream of Pokemon Red and connected it to the chat. Viewers could type commands up, down, left, right, A, B, and the game would execute them. All of
this was way before I even became really aware or understood Twitch communities. But this was really fucking cool. This was a really cool idea. This was something extreme. So this is some things that Twitch did that I'm not even sure that you can do on YouTube streaming just yet. They can make it completely interactive. So there are some things that Twitch does really well. But as far as discoverability, oh my God, it's trash.
Them from everyone at the same time. It was pure chaos. Over 16 continuous days, more than 1.16 million people participated. 121,000 played simultaneously at peak. They beat the game together through the digital equivalent of 100,000 people trying to drive the same car. Twitch Plays Pokemon won a Game Award for the best fan creation and became one of the most iconic moments in internet history. It proved something important. Twitch wasn't just a place to watch, it was a place to participate. And that distinction would define everything that came next. By 2016, Amazon launched Twitch Prime, later renamed Prime Gaming, tying Amazon Prime subscriptions directly to Twitch benefits. Free monthly channel subscriptions, exclusive game content, ad-free viewing across the entire site. It was the financial.
That's okay, but they kind of made it a leech. Like it doesn't really. Yeah, if you have like 2 or 3 channels that you consistently watch, then that it makes sense to have Prime, or at least use those Prime benefits because you're not really throwing too much in the trash. Because Twitch is fucking expensive. Like Twitch is expensive. It's ridiculous. And not only is it expensive, but it's expensive and they don't split it. Okay, I'm not the one to say what's fair and unfair. It's what it is. A corporation company can run their company however the fuck they want. And they just have to be ready to really, of course, absorb those consequences of their actions. So if they want to run it scummily where they take most of the cut, if not all of the cut, then they need to be ready for a complete exodus that's going to follow, especially some of the bigger streamers and whatnot. Yeah, so that is what it is, or at least they're not going to have as many just kind of come in into the fold, like new ones like me.
Financial glue that connected Amazon's retail empire to Twitch's creator economy. By 2017,
because guaranteed. Here's my thought process. It's more about the little guy at this point. It makes me not really want to stream. And honestly, most of the people on Twitch, at some point, there are a lot more people that are on Twitch that came to Twitch with the intention of streaming than not. There are a lot more. There are a few people that just here solidly for community, and that is what it is. But a lot of, especially if people are seeing these horrible business practices, that's going to kind of steer the little guy away. Because I'm one of those people. I came to Twitch with the intention of really kind of picking up streaming and everything else. And I kind of found community because of that. So people like me are going to be like, yeah, I don't even fucking feel like wasting my time over there because it just seems like too much work. And also they're going to try to dip their hands into my pockets as much as they can. So people like me are just going to fuck off and go somewhere else. And I guarantee you, they would make a lot more money out of me than they would ever have to pay. So, I mean, they would actually make money off of the little guys as opposed to a lot of these bigger streamers where their big streams are costing them a fuck ton of money. And they also have to pay them ad revenue, you know? So them creating these barriers of entry, even for their partnership and monetization programs and all this other stuff, it really keeps young streamers or new streamers from coming into the platform that could be a part of a community. So it seems like they're shooting themselves in the foot with those types of policies, but I'm sure he's going to go.
YouTube's gaming standalone app was struggling so badly it shut down in 2019. Twitch had 15 million daily active users and a near monopoly on game streaming. The competitors were either dying or dead. Microsoft's platform Mixer, which spent an estimated $30 million to sign Ninja and another $10 million for Shroud, shut down in June 2020, less than a year after those signings. The lesson was clear. Buying individual streamers doesn't move audiences. Viewers are loyal to the platform, not the person. And then COVID hit, and everything went vertical. During the second quarter of 2020,
because of 2020, they probably got they got lulled into a false sense of security. More than likely what happened.
Viewership surged over 70%. Average concurrent viewers spiked from 1.26 million to 2.75 million by 2021. Hours watched hit an all-time record of 24.3 billion that year. Twitch's employee count ballooned to around 1,800. Celebrities were streaming. Politicians were streaming. Everyone was streaming. But here's the thing about sugar highs. They end. And what comes after is the crash. The world reopened, people left their houses, and the metrics started sliding. Average concurrent viewers, 2.75 million in 2021, 2.65 million in 2022.
Oh, that's a bad trend.
In 2032.
Oh, those are bad numbers. Those are bad numbers.
Or 2 million in 2023, 2.37 million in 2024, and by mid-2025, roughly 2.16 million. That's a 21% drop from the peak. Annual hours.
And another thing is, like, a lot of people see that, and a lot of these streamers run their streams like businesses. They run all of this stuff like businesses. So they see this and they see a business portfolio that's trending pretty fucking badly, then it creates a sense of insecurity. So from that insecurity, they're going to end up, you know, at least attempting to jump ship. And I wouldn't blame them. And a lot of people, they have a false sense of security. So it's going to open up an avenue for these other platforms to be like, hey, we have better incentives. And some people also, and whatever, like, you'll have some of those that jump ship because of it. And then you're going to have others that become complacent, and then they become fearful that they would not be able to create. They get very focused on big number equal better. However, because of the incentive structure, they could very much realistically move to a platform to where they have less subscribers. They have less subscribers, so they have a smaller number. However, they don't realize, like, the incentive and the ad revenue that they're probably going to earn because of the weird splits that Twitch has. They could probably still make more, even though they have less. People think big number good, and then they get so fucking like laser focused or hyper focused on that.
Hours watched, 24.3 billion in 2021, 22.7 in 22, 21.4 in 23, 20.8 in 24, and the 2025 projections about 19 billion, back to pre-pandemic levels, as if COVID never happened.
Ooh.
In December
Yeah, that was gonna happen.
2024,
That was gonna
Twitch
happen.
recorded just 1.58 billion hours of watch time. That
Ooh.
was the lowest
That
monthly
is
total
pretty
in
bad.
over 4 years. And the revenue picture? Worse. Internal documents reviewed by the Wall Street Journal put 2023 total revenue around 2 billion, 667 million in ads, the rest from subscriptions and digital purchases. By 2024, that number dropped to an estimated 1.8 billion, an 8% decline year over year. Internal projections warn that Twitch could shed another $250 million in revenue by the end of 2025. This subject matter can be hard to digest, but for most Americans, their personal financial situation is the hardest subject to approach and
Yes,
manage. But
get the
with DollarWise
DollarWise
you can finally take
budgeting
control.
app.
And since there's a free trial,
All
you
right.
can see for yourself, get a full picture, automate your budget, get powerful insights, and set
Yeah,
real
let's skip
goals
this.
that
I'm
their own
skip
equipment
this.
moderated their own chat.
Let me see.
For years,
Here we go.
Twitch's top partnered streamers had
Here
a
we
deal,
go.
70-30.
This is where they fucked up big time. This is I guarantee. I feel like if we look at the numbers and we look at all of the data, this is where they fucked up. This is where everything started to go downhill for Twitch, because this right here, especially young streamers that are wanting to get into this hobby, will see this. I'm telling you, they will see this and they'll say, "Fuck that! Nope, I'm not doing it." Because in their mind, and I trust me, I know I have plenty of friends that think like this. In their mind, they have this like puppy dog and rainbows type of fucking like mentality to it. So they automatically think that they're going to make it big. They are thinking that they're going to make it big. No matter what, it's already in their mind. So they're going to see something like this and say, "Fuck that, not going to do it." And then they'll go to a different platform. And that's where that was a customer. Because I guarantee you, they're going to eventually find a community whenever they get big into a community, and they're going to start investing into that community. That's how it usually works. It's almost like a fucked up pyramid scheme, is what it is. So they see shit like this like fucking was it Herbalife? Is what it is. So they see something like this, and I'm trying to think of how many newbie streamers saw this and said, "You know what? All these other big streamers are saying that they're making a fuck ton of Kick. They're making a shit ton at Rumble. Why am I not just going to go there?" That's exactly what happens. So they saw that. This, I guarantee, if we look at all the data, this is this was it. This is where everything started to fucking just tumble downhill.
The creator kept 70% of subscription revenue. Twitch kept 30%. It was considered fair. The streamers created the content, built the community.
Yeah, look at the shit that they are offering. Provide servers, bring audience. Only one of those is factually true. The other one you cannot actually state that's true or not. That is just something that they are claiming they do. They do not fucking do that. What do? What do they do? They send you a push notification. That's it. They'll send you a push notification. Twitch will send you a push notification that says something along the lines of this bullshit. It's like, "We think you'd really like this. Join so-and-so for just chatting." Why the fuck would I ever click that link? What is so unique that's jumping out at that push notification for somebody I've never heard of that makes me want to click that link, Twitch? That makes no sense. So only one of these claims is factual, and that is that they provide the servers for you to stream on. So it makes sense for you to send them a cut of that revenue that you're pulling in to be able to upkeep the servers. That makes sense. But literally, you have to do everything else. You have to build the audience. They don't build it for you. So yeah.
Bought their own
That's
equipment,
crazy.
moderated their own chats. Twitch provided the servers and the audience. 70-30 felt like a partnership. Then in December 2022, Twitch's president Dan Clancy dropped a bomb. The 70-30 split would be capped at the first $100,000 in
Legendary
subscription
Gooner.
revenue. Everything above
Gooner.
that, 50-50. For standard partners, it was 50-50 across the board. The backlash was nuclear.
Yeah, it was.
Clancy's justification that a 70-30 split wasn't viable long-term rang hollow when creators could look across the aisle and see YouTube offering 70-30 to everyone and a new platform called
And see, it was so brain dead. The fact that all the other streaming companies that actually had the platform and the ability to stream like Twitch, it's like trying to compete with McDonald's and you have your own McDouble with one slice of cheese, and you're like, oh, but this time it's going to cost $7. I'm sorry, but McDonald's is still selling it for $2. What the fuck? It's the same quality. What do you mean?
Kick offering 95.5. Let me say that again. 95% to the creator, 5% to the platform.
That's how you pull in people right there. I guarantee you. That's the reason why Kick is still seeing such a renaissance. 95.5. If you're a young streamer, a lot of these kids think, I'm going to make it big. Why would I go to somebody that's want to take 50-50? Whatever, I'm going to make it big eventually. I'm going to get 95.5. So a lot of these younger kids go into those platforms, and that's where they start. Those are customers that they brought in, essentially. Yes, they're dual purpose. They're customers that also came with the intention to stream. So that makes sense. They're going to go wherever they think the incentive is for them. Now, yes, there are going to be some people that are just purely there as an audience member. There's some people like Roush, for example. Does Roush ever plan on streaming? I don't think so. Roush just likes coming in here and talking shit every once in a while, and that's unique to Roush. So there are exceptions, but as far as the trend and the data and whatnot, we see that's typically how they get these types of customers. It's because they intend on streaming.
22,000 streamers signed a petition demanding better terms. YouTube's gaming head responded publicly. The creators should be getting a disproportionate amount. This shouldn't even be up for debate. Twitch eventually created the Partner Plus program in June 2023, resorting 70-30
Shame.
for streamers who maintained
Shame. They tried to walk it back.
Recurring paid subscribers for 3 consecutive months. That's roughly the top 1,000.
I don't have the personality for all that. So yes, there are some that come here just to talk shit, and that's really it. But yeah, they tried to walk it back so hard.
Platform with 14 million.
And they walked it back horribly.
Streamers. The other 99.99%, 50-50, take it or leave it. And then came the data breach that changed everything. In October 2021, a hacker exploited a server configuration error and dumped 125 gigabytes of Twitch's internal data onto 4chan.
I remember being at work. I was running solo in a truck, and I was pulling hose on yards and pulling hose, but not like hose. Like, man, we got the bitches, bro. No, I'm talking about hose. It's different. Fuck off. Anyhow, I remember I was treating and seeing some drama pop off online, and I immediately tuned into the drama, and big streamers were losing their fucking minds over this. Most of them. There's like 1 or 2 that were just like, it is what it is, homie. Don't hate the player, hate the game. And they stood on fucking business. I remember, I think Moist Critical was one of them. Charlie was one of them. He was like, hey, I'm fucking rich, bro. I don't know what to tell y'all. It was really funny.
Source code, internal security tools, proprietary development kits.
This shit was
unreleased Steam competitor
fucking wild.
Codenamed Vapor. One cybersecurity expert compared it to KFC losing its secret recipe. But the most damaging part? 3 years of creator payout reports.
Yeah, this shit was crazy.
Earnings from 2019 to 2021, published for the world to see. Critical Role, 9.6 million. XQC, 8.4 million. Summit 1G, 5.8 million. Those numbers sound great. But here's what the leak really exposed. The streaming economy was an incredibly steep pyramid. 72.6% of Twitch streamers made $0.
Yes, that's because this is what incentivizes them. They see those numbers and then they come in. Those people turn into customers in the long run. They make $0 fucking dollars. They make $0 and they have this golden carrot because they know that these Twitch streamers make a lot of money. That's the incentive. So you literally, by doing that, by fucking up the incentive for people to come onto your platform, you essentially just create this fucking, not even a bottleneck, but you completely you create an unsustainable ecosystem at that point. You no longer have people coming in to support the other streamers. So yeah, they fucked themselves over big time.
Another 15% earned between $1 and $25 a month. The top 1% captured almost all the revenue. The rest provided free content that kept the platform alive. Twitch couldn't protect the financial privacy of its own creators, and it couldn't explain why the deal kept getting worse for the people who built the place. The creators weren't the only ones getting squeezed. Twitch turned on its viewers too. When Twitch Prime launched, one of its biggest selling points was ad-free viewing across the entire site.
Yeah,
Link
this
your
is
Amazon
bullshit
Prime
now.
account, never see an ad, simple, popular, effective.
You're still gonna
In
see
August
them.
2018, Twitch killed that feature. No more ad viewing for Prime members. If you wanted that back, you could pay an extra $89.99 a month for something called Twitch.
Guys, let's give it up for the GOAT. YouTube Premium. I don't give a shit. All these other big creators, they cry so much about the ads on YouTube. This is another thing that doesn't it doesn't make any sense to me. These are huge creators or content creators on YouTube, and they completely talk shit about YouTube's ads. And I'm just like, dude, premium. Why? Premium has been the GOAT. Premium has done nothing but create more value to be a premium user than any other premium service out there. Fuck Paramount, fuck Netflix, Hulu, all of this. Premium is the undisputed GOAT out of all of them. It's only gotten better since I've had it, and I've had it for several years. I've had it for several years, and Premium has only gotten better. So to me, it's like, I'm not going to talk shit and be like, you guys need to add ad blockers. No, use the Premium service. Why? Because I like the platform. And the more that we push bullshit, like using ad blockers on, especially for your content creator. Now, it might be different, but if you're a content creator, I don't understand why they would ever try to push the opposite. Because what's going to end up happening is that they're going to become more invasive, and they're going to make these more ridiculously irrational moves like Twitch did, and eventually kill the platform. So I think Premium fucking goated. Absolutely goated. Yeah, you can't even see it wherever my thing. Literally, thanks, Bill. We're literally talking about how I might not come back to Twitch. Yeah, we're still figuring out. We're talking about why Twitch is dying. So thank you for subscribing. I appreciate it. So we'll figure this out. I will stream just for you for the next 10 months, and I will block everybody else. I will ban everybody else, all of the millions of users, and it'll just be a Splenda Bill stream until I move fully over to YouTube. But yeah, welcome on in. I'm just talking shit.
Turbo. Strip a beloved feature from a paid subscription and sell it back as a separate product. Classic double dip. And the predictable happened. Ad blocker usage exploded, and Twitch responded not by rethinking the strategy.
I average 5 hours of YouTube a day because of Premium. Absolutely fucking goated. Premium is the best. I would rather have YouTube Premium over Netflix, anything else, even Spotify. Why? Because on Premium, I can just fucking listen to music. Audiobooks, music, whatever. Why would I need Audible? Why would I need any of that? And see, that lures people in to using the platform. They have a reason to use the platform. Therefore, like if you're streaming on YouTube, you have a much higher chance or rate of them actually pushing you further into the algorithm because people are already there. Okay. All right. This is supposed to be a YouTube video in and of itself, so I need to fuck off and keep watching it. Sorry, I'm sorry I'm pausing it so much.
But by going to war with its own audience, they deployed what a community called the Purple Screen of Death, a non-skippable, multi-minute purple screen that interrupted your stream with a lecture about using an ad blocker, demanding that you watch directly on the main site. It didn't just annoy ad block users, it broke legitimate third-party embeds, esports portals, multi-stream sites, even charity streaming platforms, all collateral damage. Then came server-side ad insertion. Twitch's engineers...
That type of action plan, and I'm pausing it again, I don't give a shit. That type of action plan will never get the internet. It might get some individuals on your side because they understand how business works, but it will never get the internet on your side. Being that predatory with shit will never do it. You just got to create a better product, and that's what happened. They had the only bit of market share whenever they started. Nobody else was doing it. So they became lazy and fucking complacent. and they did not want to change it.
Started stitching advertisements directly into the live video feed at the server level, making them technically indistinguishable from the actual stream. You couldn't block them without blocking the stream itself, and the ads weren't gentle pre-rolls. They were
still do
mid-roll
that.
interruptions that would fire during the stream, during a clutch play, during an emotional moment, doing the exact kind of content that keeps people watching. One viewer summed it up on Reddit: Twitch is the only platform where paying money doesn't guarantee you won't be interrupted. The financial creator problems were bad enough, but Twitch kept stepping on the rakes. In 2020, the music industry discovered Twitch, and before May of that year, streamers received fewer than 50 music-related copyright notices per year. Then the major labels started sending thousands per week. The RIAA fired off over 1,800 notices in June 2020.
And to be fair, it did become a huge fucking problem on Twitch. Twitch became this like fucking Wild West to where people were just completely infringing on copyright. Like it was an issue, so it was only a matter of time before they started firing all this bullshit off. Of course, yes, it was an issue.
Alone, more than the previous 3 years combined. Twitch's response was to mass delete VODs and clips without telling streamers which content was flagged. 5 years later, Twitch still has no comprehensive music licensing solution comparable to YouTube's Content ID. Then the hot tub meta. Streamers, primarily women, found a loophole. Twitch's rules allowed swimwear and contextually appropriate situations. Sit in an inflatable hot tub? Technically compliant. It drew massive viewership and split the community down the middle. Twitch eventually quarantined the content into a separate pools, hot tubs, and beaches category. About
oh my god, I love that. That is so funny. I just seen a Discord message for Phil. Fans are going off about ads on Twitch, and Twitch shoots me a survey about ads. That's fucking amazing. See, they know. They just keep shooting themselves in the fucking foot, man.
11 major advertisers pulled their ad spend. The gaming platform had an identity crisis on its hands. And the gambling mess was worse. By August 2022, the slots category had accumulated over 50 million hours watched monthly. Streamers were broadcasting sponsored slot sessions from offshore crypto casinos to audiences that included minors. Then
wait. So it wasn't people watching other people gambling. It was people actually gambling in chat on somebody gambling for them. Yeah, I can see why that's an issue.
A British streamer named Slyker was exposed for scamming $200,000 to $300,000 from fans and fellow streamers to feed his gambling addiction. A cancer patient who'd been scammed called into a stream in tears. Pokimane tweeted, "Like if Twitch should ban gambling," and got 310,000 likes. Twitch banned certain gambling sites within days, but exempted sports betting and poker, a half measure that satisfied almost no one. And then there was Dr. Disrespect. In June,
Gage fucking called it. Dr. Disrespect ruined streaming. We saw it here first.
2020, Twitch permanently banned one of its biggest stars midstream with zero explanation.
There was a lot of controversy on this. I thought it was something else. I have YouTube TV. Need to see if that gets me on YouTube with a discount or something. I'm telling you right now, Bill. Premium YouTube. If you watch YouTube, if you are a YouTube person, then. If you're not, then don't listen to me. It's bullshit. But if you are a YouTube person and you do frequent YouTube, Premium is the best subscription service I have ever used in my life. I could not. No. It's all I watch. Then absolutely get Premium like yesterday. Premium is it is hands down the best subscription service ever. Hands down. And I will totally support it because they offer a very far superior product. I don't give a shit. Everybody crying about ad blockers. They just offer such a superior product that I would much rather just give them my money. I get YouTube TV during football and then cancel it because it's pricey. Okay. Well, apparently it doesn't. But Premium, totally worth it. I don't know about TV. I've never used YouTube TV, but Premium, absolutely. 1000%.
History lasted for 4 years. In 2024, a former Twitch employee revealed the reason. Dr. Disrespect had been caught sending inappropriate messages to a minor through Twitch's private messaging system back in 2017.
They done did it to him. Dr. Disrespect
admitted the conversations sometimes leaned too
more like he did it to himself.
Much in the direction of being inappropriate. But here's the part that made people furious. Twitch had quietly settled with him in 2022, paying out his contract, no wrongdoing admitted. If
nobody will ever know either. They settled with him for a fucking insane amount of money. So it seems like if he were to have taken that to court, he could have won a shit ton more in court because they paid him out like 8 figures. So I don't know exactly what Twitch was doing on their end, but for them to settle, Amazon backed Twitch to settle 8 figures is fucking nuts. So for them to settle, that was them basically tapping out. They're in a jiu-jitsu wrestling match, and they said, you know what, we're locked in a submission, tap. Like, I'm done. That's crazy. Either that or they didn't want the controversy around it. But typically, it's Amazon backed. They have really good lawyers on retainer. I don't see them really giving 2 fucks about the publicity because Twitch is a loss leader anyway. So that's pretty crazy. Wonder if going to get into TwitchCon and all the issues that I wonder if they're going to get into that. I'm not sure. TwitchCon and all the issues that they're having with that.
If they knew about messages to a minor, why settle quietly instead of reporting to authorities? Then came the branded content fiasco. In June 2023, Twitch released guidelines restricting how streamers could display sponsorships, limiting ad overlays to 3% of the screen space, banning burned-in logos. They were essentially trying to become the mandatory middleman in every creator sponsorship deal. The biggest names on the platform revolted. Mr. Beast asked, how about instead of handicapping what creators make, you help them make more? Twitch reversed.
What? And honestly, that's a W, like a fucking base W, fucking W for Mr. Beast. That was a base take. Oh my God. Yeah, I didn't know that they were doing that either. Well, that is really fucked. Also, Jimmy's right here. Instead of handicapping what they make, help them make more, because that is how you get more people into your platform. They see it as a way to create content, kind of like YouTube. YouTube is killing it. Nothing else has managed to take over YouTube because YouTube offers a place for people to come in and yes, we have Mr. Beast style content now. However, people complain about it. They're like, oh, Jimmy killed fucking YouTube. However, there are still people that are just uploading videos of themselves, of shit that they like to talk about. It's not completely Mr. Beastified. There is a completely different side of YouTube that is. But that's the thing. YouTube has still not had any competitor. Like, there's not been any competition for YouTube at all because they understand the core of what people want to do, and they understand that people just want to upload what they want to upload, and they give them space to do that. So yeah.
The policy the next day.
W take.
CEO Clancy personally apologized. We messed up. 2 days later. That's how fast it took for Twitch's own leadership to realize they'd publish a policy without talking to a single streamer first. And that disconnect between the people running the platform and the people making it worth watching became the defining theme of the decline. Take a moment and get some free, easy money. With a Chime checking account and my link, you can get 300.
Also, as far as I understand, like, YouTube actually does talk to a lot of its major content creators, as opposed to Twitch, because it seems like Twitch makes the decisions first and then they find out. They fuck around, then they find out. From my understanding, when there was a bunch of other YouTube drama going on, the CEO or the face of YouTube was actually talking to big content creators. I'm not going to go into that because that's a separate video.
It's structural. YouTube has over two. YouTube's advantage isn't about one.com/Caleb. Or link in the description below.
Back into the video.
YouTube's advantage isn't about one feature. It's structural. YouTube has over 2 billion monthly active users.
Yes.
Twitch has 240 million. YouTube's recommend.
Why that? Yeah, you're just like, do you want to go in here with the handicapped, or do you want to go where all the fish are? Do you want to go fish in Shitbed Creek? You want to go fish in a little? All right, Poppy, I got to bounce. Have to get all this shit ready for the baby shower. All right. Well, you guys have a good time. Also, I might be headed your way in May. Yeah, I'll message you after stream to let you know. All right, back to it. Anyhow, it's like, do you want to go fishing in this actual pond that's fully stocked, or do you want to go fishing out here in this stream? And by stream, I mean this puddle that my dog had pissed in. It just doesn't make sense.
Recommendation algorithm trained on Google's custom TPU silicon surfaces live streams to viewers
Sounds
watching
good, brother.
related
Good
shorts, VODs, and search results. Every live stream automatically becomes a permanent, searchable, algorithmically recommended video that keeps earning money forever.
That's true. Oh, dude, I remember it was Charlie had done like I think it was a Starfield review. Oh my god, I'm itchy. Charlie had done like a Starfield review or something like that, where he had played the game, and it was like probably a 6 hour stream, and he ended up revealing the revenue that he made off of that stream, and it was fucking crazy. And it didn't disappear in 2 weeks. It stayed up for a year. It was like a year later, he ended up making it, just snowballed for some reason. So yeah, even that better, just better.
On Twitch, VODs auto-delete after 14 days for most users. The discoverability gap is devastating. Twitch's browse page sorts streams by viewer count. If you're not already popular, nobody finds you. Over 90% of Twitch streamers average fewer
And not a lot of people are looking anyway.
than 6 viewers. One Twitch partner said it plainly: Twitch should only be considered a home base. Your channel will not grow. YouTube solves this by blending content types: shorts, VODs, live streams under one algorithmic umbrella that actively pushes new creators to relevant audiences.
Yes, and it tries to make sure that they are relevant, that the audience that it is putting you in front of share some even of the same values. As long as it has enough data on you, then it's going to try to push you to like-minded individuals, which is crazy how good their algorithm is, as long as you understand how it works. Fucking Twitch does not have this.
Then there's video quality. Twitch caps streams at 1080p with bit rates around 6,000 kilobits per second. YouTube supports 4K at 60 frames per second with bit rates exceeding 50,000.
Pretty crazy.
For fast-paced games, the difference is night and day. YouTube also has a live DVR rewind feature. Pause it, scrub back, catch what you missed. Twitch didn't launch their own version until September 2025, and even then, it was desktop.
That was like 6 months ago, or a little bit, maybe more or less. That's pretty wild that it took them that long to catch up with that.
Only, subscribers only, with a 2-minute buffer. XQC reacted: this is like when Apple comes out with a new 13 megapixel camera and people have had that for 12 years. Meanwhile, Kick came in swinging. Launched in late 2022 by the co-founders of Stake.com, an online crypto casino, Kick offered the jaw-dropping 95-5 revenue split. They poached some of Twitch's biggest names.
I mean, honestly, like, should I start going, I should go over to fucking Kick as well. You know what I'm saying? 95-5 is crazy.
He signed a non-exclusive deal worth $70 million guaranteed, with incentives pushing it to $100 million over 2 years. The largest individual streaming contract in history. Amaranth signed the next day for a reported 30 to 40 million. Kick grew 131% year over year by mid-2025, crossing 4.5 billion hours watched. But here's the catch: Kick's economics are deeply tied to Stake's gambling revenue. If gambling regulation tightens, that 95-5 split could evaporate overnight.
Okay, I got it. So they have something else that's pulling in a lot more cash flow. That makes sense. And yeah, a lot of people were like, Kick, it becomes more of an ethical thing. Yeah, whatever.
Contracts appears to be ending. Both Twitch and YouTube have said they're done with the bidding wars. Clancy called them unsustainable. Kick's co-founder Bijan Tourani said the platform is not chasing big signers anymore. An interesting twist emerged in late 2024. Many streamers who had left started coming back. Dr. Lupo, Tim the Tatman, Ludwig, Sunkono, Valkyrae, they returned to
Saikuno, not Sukono.
Streaming when their YouTube contracts expired. Their viewers preferred Twitch for live content at ratios of 3-1 or 4-1. Valkyrae revealed YouTube told her their priority had shifted to shorts over live streaming. The boomerang effect proved something important. Twitch's community culture is still powerful. People like being there. The chat experience, the emotes, the raids, the parasocial energy, it's real. The community loyalty.
That's fair. And a lot of these Twitch streamers see like, but I'm getting like another 1,000. I'm getting an extra 1,000 over here. But looking at it logistically, it's like, yeah, now these bigger streamers, they have that same 70-30. So it makes sense. But for smaller streamers, like myself, yeah, you be getting 1,000 more over on Twitch, but you be getting 1,000 less on YouTube and still make more.
Can only carry a platform so far when the economics, the technology, and the management keep pushing people away. Twitch's problems aren't limited to the United States. They're global. In December 2023, Twitch announced it was pulling out of South Korea entirely. South Korea is one of the most important esports markets on Earth, the birthplace of competitive StarCraft. home to some of the fastest internet infrastructure anywhere.
That's where Twitch
said
kind of took
network
off.
fees there were 10 times more expensive than in most other countries. South Korean ISPs operate on a sender pays
It makes
model,
sense.
charging content providers for the bandwidth they consume. It violates basic net neutrality principles. ISPs double dip, charging both the consumer for their internet connection and the platform for delivering the content. Twitch tried
Ooh, yeah, that's pretty
everything.
bad.
They capped stream quality at 720p.
Ooh, that is garbage though. Oh my god. I mean, whatever, man. Make your money, I guess.
killed VOD service for Korean creators. They experimented with peer-to-peer delivery. Nothing worked. The platform had been operating at a significant loss in Korea with no pathway forward. Korean streamers migrated to Africa TV and YouTube. In China, Twitch has been blocked since 2018. In Russia, the platform has faced fines and legal conflicts tied to content regulations and sanctions. In Turkey, a money laundering scheme exploited Twitch's bits currency. Stolen credits were used to buy bits and funnel money through streamers. Turkish
How does that
police
not
detained
fucking
dozens of people.
surprise me?
These aren't isolated incidents. They're symptoms of a fundamental challenge. Live streaming is a high bandwidth, policy sensitive service. A few bad geographies, high network fees, censorship blocks, sanctions exposure, payment fraud can distort cost and reputation fast. As if the financial, technical, and competitive problems weren't enough, Twitch became a political battleground. The Platform Safety Advisory Council, launched in 2020 to improve moderation, became a firestorm almost overnight. One council member, a trans streamer and deer enthusiast who had self-identified as a deer on stream, sparked massive backlash for suggesting voice chat in competitive games was non-exclusive. She was doxxed. The council's credibility was destroyed.
This her, Judge, you don't understand. Judge, you don't understand. I identify as a deer, and these chat rooms are bullying me because I identify as a deer. You don't understand. Get the fuck out of here. No way. Oh man, I fucking love the internet some days. I fucking love it.
Destroyed before it accomplished anything. It limped along for 4 years before Twitch terminated all 9
What the deer pronouns be? I can't even guess. Like I have no fucking idea what that would even be. Nope. I'm not even gonna go there. I'm just nope.
members contracts in 2024. Political content created brand safety nightmares. Hassan Piker, a leftist political commentator, draw 125,000 concurrent viewers during the 2020 presidential debate, rivaling major news networks. But advertisers grew nervous about appearing alongside polarizing commentary.
Speaking of ads, there's an ad coming in 50 seconds. Bam or Bambi, that's the deer pronouns. Absolutely. All right. We're gonna continue. We're gonna see after this. We'll take a short break. I gotta refill my coffee cup. Can't speak.
Regardless of its direction. Twitch's moderation was criticized from both sides. Conservative creators and audiences argued that the platform was biased against them, citing bans they considered politically motivated. Several
No, it was evident that there was some shit on Twitch that was very politically motivated. That's not even debatable. Your man need the coffee. She larking. She ain't paying attention to my ass. She over there probably scrolling Smosh videos.
migrated to Kick and Rumble. On the other hand, leftist streamers like Piker, banned 5 times for political commentary violations, argued they faced disproportionate enforcement. In late 2024, Twitch introduced content classification labels for politics and sensitive issues. It pleased almost nobody. And then there's the broader cultural shift. Aiden Ross, banned from Twitch for homophobic slurs, racial content, and promoting gambling, became the most followed personality on Kick.
Isn't that fucking wild? He says, screw this, I'm jumping ship. That new Amish driving dating video was pretty good. She was watching that last night. I know exactly what you're talking about, unfortunately. Yeah, I know what you're talking about. Yep, she was watching it last night. I will sit in the same room. We will cohabitate and watch separate videos. I'll be watching Rust videos and she'll be watching Smosh. And we're cool with it.
And hosted a 90-minute interview with Donald Trump at Mar-a-Lago that drew 580,000 peak viewers. The Manosphere audience found a new home. Twitch kept trying to thread a needle on moderation and kept pricking itself from every direction.
Yeah.
Twitch isn't dying. Let's be clear about that. 240 million monthly active users, 25 million daily users, over 50,000.
That's true. I don't think it's dying necessarily, but they have definitely kind of they've kind of pulled the ladder up. There we go. That's the fucking thing I'm trying to say. They've basically pulled the ladder up on any other new creators really kind of coming in. So basically, think of it this way. Think of, you have a pond that has no flowing water in it at all. Eventually, that body of water turns into stagnant water. There's a bunch of fucking disgusting growth in there, algae, whatever. It becomes a cesspool. As opposed to, if you weren't to do that, then you actually have a running, free flowing stream. And then it's like there's no buildup, there's no stagnation. It keeps moving, things keep circulating, it just keeps going. Amazon needs to sell it to someone that gets online streaming. I don't think they'll ever do that because it's become its own loss leader, to be able to kind of recoup some of the taxes with Amazon. So I don't think they'll ever do that necessarily. It would make sense for them to do that. Maybe I'm just a dumb shit that doesn't understand finances at that scale or that level, but it seems like it would make more sense for the company to be successful. But maybe it wouldn't be worth it to them because they wouldn't get different tax cuts or incentives, or because they have the loss leader. You know what I'm saying? So I don't know how money works at that scale. That's me. That's just me being a dumb shit.
And live broadcasters at any given moment. Users spending an average of 95 minutes a day on the platform. That's not a dead product, it's a wounded giant. The live streaming market itself is booming. It was valued at roughly $107 billion in 2024 and is projected to reach somewhere between $318 billion and nearly $700 billion by the early 2030s, growing at around 23% per year. The pie is getting bigger. The question is whether Twitch can hold onto its slice. Near term, expect.
That's my thing. Like, it's become too complacent with this product. Until it decides that, and just like you're saying, Bill, in that sense, it makes sense. Until it decides that it is important to understand the community, Twitch has become so complacent that every other platform is gonna provide such a superior product that it's created a cesspool, basically. Like, everything here is just gonna become stagnant.
Expect more cost cutting. Expect multi-streaming to become the norm. Creators broadcasting simultaneously to Twitch, YouTube, and Kick.
It's already started, brother. It's already started. And maybe that's something that I need to do, is multi-stream first and then work on transferring out. You know, I don't.
As one window among several. Expect Twitch to keep improving monetization tools, rolling out better mobile experiences, and leaning on AI for moderation and content discovery. GTA 6 could give all streaming platforms a temporary boost. Medium term, YouTube's dominance will likely consolidate. The structural advantages, discoverability, VOD integration, ad monetization, video quality, are nearly impossible for Twitch to replicate. Kick's sustainability will be tested if gambling
because they don't offer anything else. Even with Kick, they do offer an alternative. And that, unfortunately, is the gambling. But they do offer something. They offer the gambling. Yeah, Twitch just does not offer anything unique. They don't offer anything else. At the time, whenever it started up, they offered at least a monetary system to earn money and stream. It's not unique anymore.
Up or faces regulatory pressure, and Twitch may quietly pivot towards being what it's already becoming, a niche platform for hardcore gaming communities and interactive entertainment, abandoning the quest for mainstream dominance. Most likely outcome, Twitch survives as a significantly smaller, more focused platform, the gaming-specific community hub within Amazon's ecosystem, living off Prime integration and a loyal core audience. Amazon has too much sunk cost and too much Prime infrastructure to shut it down, but it won't be the dominant live streaming platform it once was. That title belongs to YouTube now, and it's not coming back.
Yeah.
Twitch CEO Dan Clancy said something that stuck with me. He says that as technology progresses, quote, the desire for genuine, real-time connections will only grow stronger. And he's right. The desire is real. People want to feel like they're part of something happening right now. That instinct isn't going away, but wanting connection and delivering it are two different things. Twitch built the house. It just forgot to maintain the foundation. And now the floor is cracking while the neighbors are building skyscrapers.
Yeah.
A platform that pioneered interactive live entertainment that gave us Twitch Plays Pokemon and built the careers of thousands of creators, is now fighting for relevance in a market it once owned. YouTube didn't steal Twitch's crown. Twitch dropped it.
Yep, they sure
In the past
did.
few months,
All right, go back.
In 2000,
Anyhow, front page, new Caleb Hammer channel. Fucking love Caleb Hammer. And I'm so happy that he's doing this type of content.